It's a country that extols the virtues of liberty unlike no other.
You're number one.
Hey!
Since September, some 6,700 Americans protesting against economic inequality and corporate greed have been arrested and silenced. A police offensive aimed at crushing Occupy Wall Street has succeeded in shattering America's globally marketed brand of freedom.
What it's made people realize is the kind of devastating state of our ability to be in a place of dissent in America, and how challenged that is and how oppressed that is. And I think people thought they were freer to dissent and protest until they tried to.
As anger over corrupt politics, fractured communities, and U.S. foreign policy grows, federal anti-protest laws are also quietly expanding. In America, it is a criminal offense to exercise freedom of speech at events deemed nationally significant, such as presidential conventions and debates. Protesting in areas where the U.S. president or anyone protected by the Secret Service may be visiting is considered a felony, punishable with hefty fines and up to 10 years in jail. The Federal Restricted Buildings and Grounds Improvement Act, known as H.R. 347, is a law most Americans don't know about, but you don't have to do a lot to feel its force.
We represent people who are charged with felony offenses solely because they put up posters, they put up signs asking people to join in demonstrations, and they've been arrested by the police, detained, held on $25,000 bail and charged with felonies.
With NATO and G8 protest posters popping up nationwide, U.S. lawmakers are tightening up. Recent act amendments include prohibiting protests around the White House and broader language to make arrests and prosecution easier.
I think that this is a specific response to sort of the fear that we are actually going to be effective in, transforming the political landscape.
Katie Davison was arrested twice last year while taking part in legal, non-violent Occupy Wall Street demos in New York.
I feel like we are living in an authoritarian government, and it's awful because at least in places like the Middle East, you know that you're living in a dictatorship, that you're living in an authoritarian, regime. Here we sort of sprinkled democratic, words all over everything as if, we have all these freedoms that we actually don't.
A new reality where it's feared that just about any American engaging in political protests can be prosecuted.
It's an outrageous affront to civil liberties and the First Amendment. And I personally have been arrested several times protesting that have been misdemeanors and now would be a felony. And it's just unconscionable that that the Congress passed this.
America's Congress, notoriously known for its bickering, ironically reached consensus when it came to clamping down on constituents. Only 3 elected officials voted against expanding federal restrictions on protests. While U.S. leaders can't resolve issues like national debt and homelessness, they're all on the same page when it comes to how to handle all those citizens flooding the streets to demand change and accountability. Marina Portnaya, RT, New York.